Hi, I'm Bob Ray Sanders here with my colleague Bud Kennedy, and we're taking sides on an issue that has come up because of an ad by Wendy Davis against Greg Abbott, and it uses a wheelchair. Let's take a look at it.
A tree fell on Greg Abbott. He sued and got millions. Since then, he spent his career working against other victims. Abbott argued a woman whose leg was amputated was not disabled because she had an artificial limb. He ruled against a rape victim who sued a corporation for failing to do a background check on a sexual predator. He sided with a hospital that failed to stop a dangerous surgeon who paralyzed patients. Greg Abbott, he's not for you.
Well, this ad has produced a lot of controversy, a lot of people calling it bad, an attack on the disabled. Effective or not?
Bob Ray, everybody is furious about this ad one way or the other. People are furious that she used the wheelchair in an ad, even though Greg Abbott's used the wheelchair in his ads. And then other people are furious, saying that this was not something a Democrat should do, that this is insensitive, and that it's not a good ad for a Democrat. I just say it's a badly written ad. It never goes on and makes the point. It says Greg Abbott got $10 million, but it doesn't go on and say that he worked for tort reform that prevented other victims from getting their money, and it doesn't go on and say that he has not helped Texans with disabilities. It really never makes its point.
Well, keep in mind, Bud, this is a 30-second ad, and I just got to tell you, I disagree with you about its effectiveness, because it does point out it's not an attack on disabled people. It's an attack on hypocrisy. Greg Abbott has been a hypocrite on this issue. He has benefited from the laws, and those laws have changed, and he has fought to make sure that people with the same disability he has will never get what he got in a settlement.
You know, Wendy Davis could have run a really good campaign, but some of these ads have been horrible, Bob Ray. The first ad about the decision and the rape case in Seguin, I mean, that was so vague, and it really made it look like there was some bad decision, when really all Greg Abbott decided in that is that he didn't want the company that made the vacuum cleaner held responsible. And this case doesn't make its point either. She's throwing these ads up there. Here's a picture of a wheelchair. Woo, scary, $10 million, but it never really explains the point.
But let's keep in mind, Greg Abbott, I mean, for a long time, Greg Abbott was like Roosevelt. I mean, many of us didn't know whether he was in a wheelchair or not. We never saw the chair. But he rolled out the chair. He rolled it along the highway. He pretended to be rolling it all the way from California to here, bringing, products and businesses to Texas. He rolled out the wheelchair. Wendy Davis seized on that and said, well, wait a minute. There's something hypocritical about this, because here you are in a wheelchair, but you got millions of dollars, and here are 3 cases where people didn't get what they should have gotten, or you fought them from trying to get what they deserved. That's hypocritical. What's wrong with that in a 30-second ad?
If Wendy Davis wanted to say something about the wheelchair, she could have said, this is how Greg Abbott didn't stand up for Texans with disabilities. Here's Texans with disabilities. I'll stand up for these Texans with disabilities, and I'll be more of a champion. She didn't say any of that. She put out a shock value ad as getting a lot of free attention.
And for those who suggest that the only reason she did it was to remind people that he was in a wheelchair, do you agree with that? That's the point of the ad?
I think he's been using the wheelchair, Bob Ray. He's been using the wheelchair in his ad, and there's nothing wrong with her using it in some way. This was a poorly written ad that doesn't deliver her message. It's another failure by the Davis campaign.
Well, I think Greg Abbott is an admirable person who, despite his disability, has risen to great heights in the state of Texas. But because of that, because he's been able to rise to great heights, I think this ad points out the fact that there are other people who may not ever have that chance, because Greg Abbott fought them having that kind of a chance.
And she made the point yesterday at her press conference. She said that he had basically pulled up the ladder after him as he, behind him as he made these great heights. But she's not attacking him in the ad. She's going back to these old decisions that don't hold up under inspection. All the PolitiFact judgments of this ad have been false, false, false. She can't really find anything to say.
Okay, so this ad doesn't help her at all in this campaign?
I don't think so at all. It gets free publicity.
But we'll see what the voters say.